real quickly, I want to share with you, I see 3 levels of faith in this passage, or maybe three demonstrations of faith in this passage I just want to, expose. One level of faith doesn't work at all. One level of faith demonstrated here, is kind of barely hanging on. But this third demonstration of faith is what real faith is all about. The first level of faith demonstrated in this passage is demonstrated actually by the disciples. And I want to call this a faith of association. A faith of association. They were traveling with Jesus. They're with Jesus, been with Jesus, but they really don't, they don't yet have real faith. The father brought the boy to the disciples and asked if they would heal him, and it's implied they tried and failed. In fact, the text says, I asked your disciples to drive out the spirit, but they could not. They were just going through motions that they didn't understand fully. It was a faith of association. The second demonstration of faith from this text is from the boy's father. And I call this a faith of desperation. He was desperate. He says, I brought him to the disciples, but they could not. If you could do anything. And Jesus is like, if? And then he confesses, I do believe, help my unbelief. He's desperate. And Jesus actually, in that statement, said, all things are possible for those who believe. Faith is a word that always combines conviction and action. And this guy, you can just say, he's desperate. Faith of desperation. The third level of faith, or the third demonstration of faith that I see, actually is the faith of Jesus. I love the conclusion. At the end of the day, they went into a house to hang out, and the disciples went to Jesus and said, Lord, why couldn't we do it? Remember what he said? This kind could only come out through prayer. Meaning, this kind can only come out as a result of my time with, talking with the Father to know His will, and then I could do His will when I know what His will is. That's what prayer is. Time, talking, spent with the Father to know His will. It could only come out through prayer, and the ultimate example of prayer is what Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane. Father, not my will, but yours be done. Faith of submission. Not just association, not just going through emotion, not just always out of desperation. Faith of submission, doing the Father's will.